How are you doing, Cook family? I hope everyone is keeping well, keeping safe, and trading safe as usual. So today's little video is regarding targets. Yeah, I see in the comment section, as well as the messages I get, where do I target? Where do I target once I get into a trade? Where do I target? Now, there's so many ways in which you can target or you can get out of your trade. This is one of the ways in which you can go around it. Yeah, and it's simple. Okay, it's target calls. In other words, liquidity. Right? So let's get into it. So let's say we've got some sort of structure like this. Now, let's say price is sort of correcting its way back here. And I'm just going to put this in here. There might be supply zones in here, which is completely fine, and which may have failed. So you could look to get into buys from here or from here. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Now, for the sake of this sort of video, what I'm going to do is we're going to get a reaction, and we're going to get a failure of that supply. So what am I talking about here? Well, essentially, this supply has now failed, so demand's clearly in control, so on and so forth. But what has it done? What has it done? What is it going on to achieve? Well, in this instance, we've essentially got equal highs starting to form. We've got equal highs starting to form. And then you take it one step further, you've got a really nice POI sitting right above those equal highs. Yeah? So, when you see sort of these equal highs and then you start seeing price starting to correct, you could look to get into buys from here. Now, why am I picking this POI? Because it's got liquidity sitting above it. So it's essentially similar to this. So similar to this POI because it's got equal highs sitting below it. For this POI, it's got structural liquidity sitting above it. Yeah, so when you have clear liquidity sitting above or below your POI, that's a really good indication or really good confidence to have for that POI. So essentially, if you're going to get into a buy from here, target calls, target liquidity. So you've got clear equal highs to target. Yeah. Now from here, if you take it that one step further, you start adding in more context into it, i.e. it's a downtrend. We've come back into the extreme, so on and so forth. What have we got here? We've got demand chain starting to hold, which is essentially doing what? It's building future calls, i.e. future liquidity. So again, if you're going to take a setup from here, you've got clear calls to target. Yeah. So I just wanted to kind of do this quick little video on how to use liquidity when you're looking for targets, right? So if you've got clear calls, guys, look to target that calls, right? Now, it might not always be in the form of equal highs. It might be in the form of structural liquidity, so on and so forth, right? But if you've got clear calls, look to target that. So guys, the example we're going to be looking at is going to be from the 1st of November. This is the H4 sort of analysis I had pre-session, and I want to focus here on the M15. We're going to be looking at the buys, but I just want to kind of focus on, when you're going to sell, looking at the targets, right? If you look here, demand is starting to take control. These little supply zones are starting to fail, right? Got messy price action here as well, yeah, but essentially demand is starting to take control, and I've got here, it's likely going to be targeted, right? Why? Because this future liquidity being generated, yeah, on this move up. So guys, if you look at this price action, yeah, if you just simply look at this price action, now like I mentioned, this is future liquidity being generated, yeah, it's clear calls to target when you're selling, yeah. Now, you can see here, multiple supply zones starting to fail, yeah, multiple levels of supply starting to fail. Then we come into this sort of supply zone in here, and we get a reaction from it, and we get a failure. Now, the point in this video is, what did it do after it failed? That's the whole question. So if you look at this, we've literally come in to build equal highs. Yeah, it'll be a bit more clearer if I play a couple more candles. Yeah. So if you're going to look to buy from here, in terms of targets, now I'm not going to look at entries or anything like that. I'm just simply going to look at focus on targets here. Yeah. And using liquidity as targets specifically. Yeah. If you're going to look to buy from here, you've got clear equal highs to target. Yeah. Now, initially we were looking for higher prices into some of these levels here, and this again just goes to show you have to constantly be adapting to the markets, right? Now, if you actually study this little candlestick in here, on the lower time frame, you'll see a really nice POI where price actually reacts from. Okay, now I don't want to go too much on POI selection and so on and so forth. I just want to focus on these targets. So once we get into this, so let's say you get tagged in, look how price takes out that liquidity, yeah. So we take out that liquidity, we can clearly see that sweep, yeah. And like I say, focus on, if you want to do a bit more studying, focus on this little candlestick, do a bit of analysis, investigation onto that candlestick on the lower time frames, and you see exactly where we reacted from. And if you want to look to sell from here, look at all this liquidity that has been generated, yeah. So it's a clear target now of these lows, yeah, and we've got clear liquidity to target. And this is how you can literally use liquidity, yeah. You can use liquidity in so many ways, right? I.e. picking your POIs, this, that, whatnot, but you can also use liquidity to target. Yeah, and this is what I mean when I say, well, if you've seen my charts, you can target calls. When I say target calls, it's essentially what I'm saying is target liquidity. Yeah, so make sure what price is doing, ask yourself, well, why did it do it? And what did it achieve in doing so? So in this instance here, yes, we overpowered the supply, demand overpowered the supply to create equal highs. Yeah, then we target those equal highs, at which point all that time we're generating liquidity for the future for this sell-off. So guys, that's it for me today. If you guys like the content that is on this page, give it a like, give it a share. And if you've not already done so, subscribe to this channel. Now, just before finishing off, just understand the name of the game is liquidity. Yeah. So try and really improve your understanding about liquidity. Yeah. How can you use liquidity? So in this video, we looked at how we can use liquidity as targets. Yeah. So as usual, if you've got any further questions, just give me a shout. And until next time, trade safe.